Welcome back. Here we are with our next Flip preaching video as we continue to look at the Beatitudes of Jesus in our series Amazing Grace. And this week we're looking at Matthew chapter 5 verse 8, which is "Blessed are the pure in heart, for they will see God." Now when I've been looking at this Beatitude, at this verse, there's two things that come to mind. The first one is about that second bit about seeing God. Blessed are the pure in heart, for they will see God. And it reminds me of Moses. It reminds me of Moses when he asks to be able to see God, a glimpse of God. And there's this thing where God then places him in the cleft of this mountain and allows Moses to see not God, but to almost see that place where God has just been. It's almost that sense of the radiance that is still there, that he still manages to glimpse, even though it's not actually God. And so I'm reminded of this, that Moses asked to see God, and he managed to catch a glimpse of the back of God where he had just been. The other bit, pure in heart, well, that makes me think of some of the prophets, particularly Isaiah, Jeremiah. If you look in Isaiah 6, Jeremiah 1, you'll see the story of their commissions or their calls. And in both of those instances, there is this sense, particularly in Isaiah, but we get it a little bit there in Jeremiah as well, of this sense of we're not worthy. Isaiah's words of, "I am one of unclean lips." There is this sense that they're given this commission, that they're in the presence of God, and yet they know that they are sinners, that they know that they cannot possibly exist within God's presence, and yet God in his graciousness reveals himself to them, speaks to them, and opens up his word to them to go out into the world and to share with others. In one sense, this gives me a bit of encouragement about this Beatitude, because I think if it's only the people who are pure in heart that receive God or see God, then we're probably all in trouble. I'm pretty sure, like me, most of you are thinking, yeah, I am definitely not one of those pure in heart kind of people. That is definitely not the way I act or I live. I struggle most days just to keep the lid on my anger or my selfishness or my judgmental nature or whatever it might be that we do. So when we hear that the pure of heart will see God, we start to go, well, that's me out then. But maybe this again isn't about what we do. Do we make our heart pure? Are we the ones that by working really hard, can make ourselves whole again? Or actually, is this about God again? Is this about his grace? That actually the making of a pure heart is not an action that we do, but an action that God does to us. And it's because of that revealing to him, that revealing of him to us, that we begin to see him in our lives and in the world around us. Isaiah, when he sees God and says he's on unclean lips, God says, don't worry, I will sort this. Jeremiah's the same. When Jeremiah says, I haven't got the words to say, God comes and touches his lips and says, don't worry, I will do that for you. In both of those cases, it is God who does the putting right in order to make these people able to do that role which he has called them to do. So maybe this week, as you're looking at this verse, as you're praying about it and as you're wrestling with it, maybe you need to ask yourselves not, how do I become purer, but maybe to ask, what does God need to work in me? What bit of my life am I struggling with? And I just need to ask God to come and to, like Isaiah, like Jeremiah and so many others, just to say, don't worry, I have got this. Maybe it is fear at the minute in this unprecedented times. Maybe it's your anxious self worrying about what might happen tomorrow. Maybe it's your sense of invincibility. Actually you recognise that you're walking around thinking that nothing can touch you, and actually that might end up putting you in danger. Maybe it's your perfectionism. There's some people look at this verse, and we might take it this way on Sunday, but we'll see and say, actually, is there that pure in heart, that need to be perfect all the time, which can be such a burden for many people. Actually making sure everything's always right doesn't always endear you to other people, and maybe that's something we need to give over to God. Whatever it is this week, I encourage you to just think about and find those bits in your life where you just go, struggle with this. God would never use me because. And maybe that's where we just need to start asking for ourselves about how God can help us, how God can reveal himself that actually it is because of our impure hearts that we get to see God, because he comes to work and transform each and every one of us. A reminder that obviously church will not be on this Sunday. We'll be live streaming from Cullercoats at 10 o'clock if you want to join in on our Facebook page or through YouTube, and we're looking at trying to get that out in other ways as well. Please look after yourself. Please stay home if you're in at-risk categories. Please know that we are praying for you. We're going to be putting links to the sermons in the emails that come out, so if you've missed them or weren't able to be part of them, that you have that opportunity to see them again. And if you need any help or if you need prayer, send an email into the office, and the contact details again we'll put below, so that we know about that and we can do something about that. Please, let's bless one another in this time. Let's show grace and mercy to all of those people that we meet. And we'll be out with the next Flip Preaching video next Monday, so please look out for that as well. Take care of yourselves. Bye.